All right, so we are on solving systems by elimination. Right now, we're going to be doing a one-step method. So first, we're going to go back and do some old stuff to get us reminded on how we're working with systems right now. This was a substitution technique. So if I already know that x is equal to negative 2y, so instead of saying x in the second equation of the system, I'm going to substitute that x with a negative 2y. And now that x is removed. So now my like terms, divide by negative 1, divide by negative 1. I've got a y of a negative 4. And then I can come back up to that first equation, which was negative 2 times y. And then I have an x of an 8. So then my coordinate pair is 8, negative 4. So old stuff, right? We've done substitution. That was a reminder. And now new stuff, we're going to do elimination with one step. So we have fill in the blank here. So let's see how this goes for us today. Write the system so that the like terms with the same number and opposite sign are aligned. Add the equations together, eliminating one variable. Then solve the equation. Substitute the value from step 2 into one of the equations of the system. And solve for the other variable. Write your solution as an ordered pair. So step 1, we want to have the same like terms with the same number but opposite sign that are aligned. So in example 1 down here, we have a negative 3 and a positive 3x. Same number 3, but opposite sign. Here, these are not the same number, so that's not going to work. Example 2, we have 4 top and bottom, but they're not opposite signs. We're going to have to deal with that sign adjustment there in example 2. So let's slide up the page here. Okay, so now we have, it's the same sign, so that was our step 1. So step 2 from above says add the equations together. Okay, so I'm going to draw in a line here to show my addition. So if I add negative 3x and 3x is going to add to 0. 4y minus 6y is a 2y, and 12 and 18 is a 30. Okay, add the equations together, eliminating one of the variables. Okay, so that's x. Then solve the equation. Okay, so I need to solve this for y. So I'm going to divide both sides here by a negative 2. So now y is a negative 15. Okay, now substitute the value you got from step 2, so y of negative 15, into one of the equations. All right, well, I'm going to put it into the top one. I thought I was on the marker there, so let's try that again. I'm going to put it into the top one. So I've got a negative 3x plus 4 times negative 15 is equal to 12. So I've got negative 3x minus 60 is equal to 12, right? Add 60, add 60. So negative 3x is equal to 72. Divide by negative 3, divide by negative 3. So then x is going to be a negative 24. All right. Substitute in. So we substituted in y of negative 15 into one of the equations. We solve for the other variable, which was x is negative 24. Now write your solution as an ordered pair. So I've got negative 24, comma, negative 15. All right, example 2, like I said, we do not have the same number of different signs of the same sign. So I'm going to take this bottom equation and multiply everybody by a negative 1. So when you do that, this is really a negative 4, this is a positive, and this is a negative 18. So now when I add my equations, a positive 4x and a minus 4x are going to cancel. A 2y plus a 3y is a 5y, and 28 plus a negative 18 is a positive 10. So again, we're going to solve for our variable. We're going to take it and plug it back in. And I'm picking the top one for no good reason. I'm just picking an equation. If you're looking at the numbers and you think one is easier than the other, by all means, go ahead and pick whichever one you think is easier. Solve for the second equation, and like they said before, write your final answer as an ordered pair. All right, story prompts. A hardware store earned this much money from ladders and power tools. The store charged 36 days for ladders and 85 days for power tools. That's just for the rental. This week, we got, okay, different days. How much does the store charge per day? So we're gonna write an equation from this stuff. All right, so 1 week, let's see, we have ladders and power tools. So I'm gonna use L for ladders and P for power tools. All right, so we had 36 days for ladders plus 85 days for power tools. And that was $956.50. That's one equation of our system. The second one, 36 days for ladders again, but 70 days for power tools. And now we are at $829. I'm gonna put 00 just so my numbers line up. And it says how much they charge for each, right? We wanna know ladders and power tools. So 36 matches up here, right? With 36L, 36L, but it's not the opposite sign. So I'm gonna take this bottom equation, multiply everybody by a -1, and I'm gonna add them. So my 36Ls are gonna add to 0. So I've got 15P. And again, this is addition, so I'm gonna have my 50 cents here. Oh, what, it's a negative sign. I'm still at my 50 cents. So here I'd have to borrow. This is really a 4. It's a 127.50. Okay, so then our division of 127.50 divided by 15 is going to be 850. So it's going to be 850. Let's see, what do we have here? So that's like the rental price for the power tools. And that'd be per day because everything is a day here. So we need to take that answer of 850 and put it into one of the equations. So again, I guess I'm going to go to the top. So I'm going to have 36L plus 85 times 850 is equal to $956.50. Okay, so I multiplied 85 times 850, I got 722.50. Now I was in the process of subtracting that from both sides. Divided by 36. So now we're going to have 650. So 650 to rent the ladder, 850 to do the power tools. All right, you try the U-tries, and then I'll have the answers ready in a second. So go ahead and pause the video and see how you can do. All right, here are the U-tries. So for example 1, we have the same number, different signs, so that allows us to add them right away and eliminate the y's. Solve for x, you get 2. Evaluate back in the first equation. Solve for y, you get 1. Coordinate point 2, 1. Second equation, we both have -2y's on top and bottom. So I multiplied the bottom equation by a -1, so that we have a -2 and a +2. So now our sum gives me 8x. Y's are eliminated, 16. X is a 2 again. I went to the top equation again. I put in my 2 and I solved. I got y of -6, and that was the question they asked for. Fundraiser question. We've got a couple of people in a walkathon. So I used M for Marcus, and Anissa here is A. Anissa's got 13 and 13. So I multiplied the top equation this time by a -1 because I saw the bottom equation had larger numbers. So when I added up my like terms, that allowed me to have a positive number instead of having a negative number. I got Marcus with 21 bucks per mile. When I put that back into the problem here and I solved, I got a NISA getting $22.50 per mile.